everyone, to Every Woman Empowered's Chit Chat. And I am your host, Shauna J. Cerniak, the founder of Every Woman Empowered. And today we have my co-host,
Johnny Galarno, international artist and resident artist for Every Woman Empowered.
And our special guest today is the one, the only, Nelia Genoud. She is Every Woman Empowered's happiness ambassador, and she's a certified laughing yoga instructor. She's also the host of Chit Chat, but today she is going to be our special guest. So welcome, Nelia! Yay! So Nelia, thank you so much for being on the show. Ha ha ha, you have no choice. But I just gotta say that, Nelia, you're an amazing, dynamic woman. I've known you for quite a few years, and, I am so glad that the universe has brought us together, because you have made not only my life richer, but all those around us. So thank you for being such a beautiful-hearted woman, and we're happy to have you on the show today. So welcome.
Thank you. I feel the same about you two. Definitely. The universe did us a favor bringing us all together.
Yes. So I gotta start off with the first question, Nelia. So tell us, how did you become the happiness ambassador and laughing yoga instructor? I want to know your history and what brought you to where you are today.
Okay, well, how much time do we have?
We only have 20 minutes, and you're on the clock.
Okay, so I would say this whole thing sort of started. I was always a pretty positive kid. I did go through some, depression sort of phases in my teens, feeling, what's my place in the world sort of thing, just crying for no reason at all. And my mom, she helped me through that. She said, you've got so much to be grateful for. There's really, not that much to be upset about. And if you compare my childhood to anyone else's, it would look like a cakewalk. But, everybody has trauma. It just comes in different forms. So from there, I did everything right. I went to school. I got myself a corporate job. I was doing the work, and then I was laid off. The economy tanked. So I was doing a multi-level marketing thing on the side, thinking, one day I'm going to have the car and the house and everything. My dreams are going to come true. And the company, what really drew me into it was how much they gave back and how committed they were to happiness and the happiness movement. The founder had talked at the UN about happiness. They supported Big Brothers Big Sisters. They had a sister company with a magazine and a podcast called Live Happy. So that all drew me right in. And that was what I was just consuming nonstop, was all this happiness content. And well, it kind of ran its course. I feel like I was hanging on to it for the wrong reasons and felt like I could explore those things outside of that organization. So then I saw some events coming up in Horlack Park for laughter yoga, and I thought, how cool is that? They get paid to just laugh with people. Yeah, and it took me a while to actually make it to an event. I feel like the summer it was so busy, everything's going on at the same time. I finally saw they had a certification course coming up, and I thought, I have to experience it for myself if I want to be a teacher. So I made it work. I rearranged my schedule, and I made it to a class, and I'm so glad that I did. So now it's almost a year later. I got my certification end of October last year. So I've been enjoying doing Zoom sessions through COVID and bringing happiness to people, improving their overall positivity and emotions just after like half an hour, sometimes even 15 minutes. So it's been a wild ride. And with Every Woman Empowered, I got to be I guess, I don't know, keynote speaker at the We Emerge conference. I got to be the kickoff to the day, and I talked all about happiness and had people getting up, walking around, and talking to each other, engaging with each other, and it was a lot of laughs. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So that's how I came to be Every Woman Empowered's Happiness Ambassador.
You just fell right into it. You were the perfect person. You couldn't have asked for anybody better.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Like, really, you are such a dynamic young lady. You really, truly are. And you're also very courageous, and you're willing to learn. And I think that's what I truly love about you, is that you'll go, okay, I want to do this. What do I have to do to be able to do this? And you're not afraid to be able to ask those hard questions. And so I totally appreciate that about you. The other thing I wanted to kind of ask you too is, like, what do you think was your biggest catalyst for change in how you've been, say, from 5 years ago?
5 years ago. Oh man, that question. I feel like in interviews when they ask, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? I feel like everybody got that wrong 5 years ago for 2020.
Yeah. I wanted to be inside all by myself.
Yeah, so 5 years ago, I was in that corporate job, and it was honestly not the place I was supposed to be. And somewhere along the way, I lost my sense of direction. I feel like I was doing things for the wrong reasons. And because honestly, the 2 jobs I had before that job, I knew it wasn't the right fit for me, not the right environment. So I moved on. But here I was in this role and just kind of feeling like this is how it is. Like, this, adults always complain about their work and how much it sucks and everything, right? So you just have to tough it out. And yeah, it was honestly, it was the multi-level marketing company that changed for me, and Every Woman Empowered. Actually, it was me going to my first Every Woman Empowered, thinking I was going to network with people to try to get, more customers and everything. So it all, has a purpose. Everything happens for a reason. And yeah, that was the catalyst to change for me.
Do you think if someone, do you think that as someone that's new to wanting to learn, wanting to change, wanting to grow, what is something that they could do that you have learned through your process, through your growth process? What is something that they could learn to help them grow? Like, what are some of the nuggets that you took home throughout your learning process that you might want to share with our viewers?
Number 1, read The Slight Edge. It's the book that was written by the owner of the multi-level marketing company, but honestly, it's the foundation for any self-development that you're going to do. So it's not a book for a specific purpose, but he would have people writing in and saying, I lost so much weight because of this book, or I quit smoking because of this book, and just all these different things. And all it is the philosophy that you do something every day that puts you in the right direction, because every decision you make over time, you're either going this way or you're going this way.
So true.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing, I think, just love yourself, because that's what I got out of Every Woman Empowered and all the sessions that I went to. Like, Shauna's telling me, when you go to a job interview, you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. I'm like, yeah.
Very
yeah,
true.
just love yourself, because if you do that, you will make all the right decisions for yourself. And that's, between eating a piece of cake and, a piece of fruit, right? Those
Yeah.
simple decisions, and over time, it's going to make a difference.
So like the 3 Fudgios I had prior to this.
Was that supper?
That was kind of my supper. Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah.
I
So
went
I
straight
have
to
another
dessert.
question for you. Well, you know, dessert first. Why not,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Daddy. Go ahead.
I think I lost my train of thought. Oh no! Let me try this. So even somebody who is a happy person like yourself, I'm sure you have those days that are just really rough. What do you do to kind of get yourself over that hump and kind of back on track?
Yeah, everybody thinks being a happiness ambassador or, whatever, that I don't have bad days. That's not true. And it's just what I choose to share about myself, right? But when I do have those really bad days, you just have to sort of feel into them and not just turn it away or go to like a quick fix sort of solution. You really have to feel into it and understand why you're feeling that way. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's just, I don't know, the moon phases or other kind of phases.
Yeah.
Right.
But sometimes there's something that triggers you and you just need to understand what that is, having that self-awareness. So
Yeah.
yeah, what I do mostly is journal. I find that really helps to put everything down on paper, and then you can later go back to it, looking at it objectively, not in that mindset, and think, okay, what was all that about, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just having that understanding of what's really going on. Like, oh, okay, that reminded me of this, and that's why I had this reaction to it, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Or
it's
go for a nice walk. That's what I got to do with you two throughout COVID.
yeah.
Oh, thank goodness too, eh?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exercise is a really key, even if it's like 5 or 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Just something to kind of get you going. And the journaling is huge. It like you get to see the growth process, right? You get to see where you were and where you are, and we forget that we're constantly working on ourselves and growing. And then when we look back and go, wow, that's where I was. That was where I was at. That's how I acted or reacted to having a bad day. And now this is kind of the process I go through. So thank you for sharing those two key factors. Being 30, do you feel uh,
When
you look like you're still 18, but
Right, I
being
know.
30, do you think 30-year-olds are more open to wanting to learn and wanting to change and grow? Is that something that you're seeing a lot of, maybe compared to the more mature, men out there that might be in their 50s per se? Not us.
I
We're not there yet, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
right. I mean, I'm associating with those women, right? Now I'm actively participating in events where I get to meet women like that. So I see it all the time. I know there are others out there that are just kind of coasting by and just, go through the motions, sleep, work, Netflix, bed, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of that same routine on repeat. But I think that there are there's a bit of a movement going on. I feel it. I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people more interested in spirituality and kind of the higher consciousness. And I think part of it's the millennial generation. So we're feeling that the old style of doing things just isn't working anymore. We care about things like the planet and social injustice. So I think we're all growing. It's at different rates, but yeah, I think I don't want to stereotype, but I feel like in the 50s, some women still have that closed mindset,
Very
like
much
this
so.
is the way things always were, it's never going to change, sort of thing. What's even the point?
Yeah.
You probably see it in your circles, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely when you get into the 60s, 70s and higher, there's that, they feel there's no need to change. There's no need to grow. There's no need to.
I think it depends on what their mindset has been their entire life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If they're mover and shakers, then they continue to be mover and shakers, right? But if they haven't had that aha moment yet,
Yes.
then no, I'm not doing nothing. Forget that. Me change. I'm this age. I shouldn't have to change.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
It is
Right.
so
It is. It's
sad.
totally sad.
Because you think, you're that close to the end or whatever, but to not take that opportunity to live your best life and have your best years,
Yes.
I mean, it's the driving force for me. I want to live my best life possible. So that means living for me, number one.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wish I had the opportunities that are here now back when I was growing up, when I was in my 20s and 30s. Yes, I did a lot of growing in that period of time, but I wish there was the, just having the opportunity to discuss this, on a platform where, millions of people can watch, to being able to have groups where you can share and support and such. I mean, you didn't have those sort of things, growing up in my 20s and 30s, but it would have really helped the process,
Probably. I think part of it is because we were still partying.
Well,
I was not mature. I was not mature enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I had children, but I was not mature.
Right. I look at Nelia at 30, and I look at myself at 30, and I was, a mom of a 2.5 coming 3-year-old, and I think, wow, like if I had the knowledge that Nelia had, like, whew, can you imagine? I would be Oprah. Like, I would be Oprah.
Oh yeah.
So for sure. Okay, so Nelia, your family and friends, how do they react to you and your change and what you're doing? What's the support system like?
I feel overall they're supportive. I mean, there's, of course, times where there's doubts because I've started up things before and maybe didn't see them through. And that started at an early age. I went to a Ukrainian dance class when I was maybe 6 or 7 because all my friends are Ukrainian and I want to join them. I am not Ukrainian. And I go to the class and I'm doing my dancing, and then afterwards I tell my mom, I'm done. I don't want to go back. I feel like I don't know if it was too hard or I just didn't enjoy it, but there's been quite a few scenarios like that. I feel like now that I've gotten more knowledge about everything, I'm a multi-passionate. I've done some art with Jani. I've done 5Ks. I've done soccer teams. I've done, it's a little bit of everything. And I feel like that's just me getting the most out of life possible.
Yes.
And my family and friends are along for the ride. I know at the We Emerge conference, my mom said she was so proud of me. She was just in awe of how much I've grown, and yeah.
Your mom's a pretty incredible woman.
Mm-hmm, she really is.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Nope.
Yeah.
Tree me.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna ask, if you, like, we won't say where you're going to be in 5 years, but what are you doing currently right now that we'll be seeing some stuff happening in your life in the next year or two?
Oh, well, Yeah, I think it's funny. I think one day people are gonna look back on this video and be like, "That was one of Nela's, first interviews."
I love it.
That's right.
I've got big plans. So in the next year or two, well, a lot of life changes. So I'm engaged to be married next summer, and
Yay.
shortly after that will be family planning. And career-wise, I'm working on my laughter yoga business. I've got my website just about ready to launch, and I want to just keep expanding on that. I feel like I can bring even more to different groups. So I actually saw a program called Chief Happiness Officer and thought, that is a cool title.
That is.
Yeah,
I would love to
absolutely.
help bring more happiness initiatives to workplaces. And I think I can already do quite a bit of that just with the speaking engagements that I've gotten to do through Every Woman Empowered. But through learning even more, I think I can serve my people even better. And my ultimate goal is to spread as much positivity as possible, leave the biggest possible positive impact on this world before I go.
And that is truly a beautiful goal for life. To want to make an impact and make it a better place. You couldn't ask for a better goal than that, really.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
Yeah.
Very special. So I'm going to ask my usual silly question.
I wonder what that could be.
If you were an ice cream, what flavor would you be and why?
I would be I feel like I've answered this already on a previous Every Woman Empowered.
Do you remember what you said?
I said I was mint chocolate chip because I'm that classic chocolate with a little crunch and a zing of peppermint. A spice for life.
Spice for life.
I like that. I like that. So my question to you is, what is a message that you want to leave our viewers today as they are going into the fall of 2020? And with everything that is going on in this world, what is something that you would like to leave for them that will resonate with them?
Honestly, watch the content that you're taking in. If you're watching the news, especially with the American election about to happen, just be mindful of what you're taking in. So my news feed, I've unfollowed a lot of political, religious friends. It doesn't mean that I've unfriended them. It doesn't mean that I don't still care and love about them. I'm just limiting what I'm seeing because I know if I consume that, it's going to internalize. So what I've done is followed a bunch of positive accounts on Facebook and Instagram. And on Facebook, I make sure that it's the first thing that I see when I open up my feed. So it's always starting off on a positive note. I can't imagine waking up in the morning and checking social media and it just being negative and that's setting the tone for the rest of your day. So yeah, for every hour that you're consuming the news or anything bad, do that much doing something good and taking in that much time or more, taking in some positive stuff.
Very sage words, my dear.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, did we mention we're very proud of you? Just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah. We like her.
We do.
Nelia, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you to our viewers on Chick Chit Chat. Wishing you a beautiful day, and to all the viewers, you too have a beautiful day. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.